Gonzo on the restart. Weaves his way, fires and scores.
We're going to attack, coming middle, trying to free himself up.
Shot, score! Gets around Weed, off the bounce, shot, and a score. Wow. Levine with some speed. Levine fakes a pass. Levine all the way is going to fire and score.
Up top, Druin.
He wants a shot, and he's got it. Wow.
Meanwhile, Arbusto, one-handed shot is up and in. Got a penalty flag down.
Skip pass sets up Gabord, and it's time to pluck a chicken.
No, but a good one-handed scoop up.
Roy, and then he lights the lamp. Lowers that left shoulder and fires up the Cougar fans. Look at this.
Nice play.
Fake shot by Brunzik, and then he drills it on his way to the ground. Chase, extra feed, shot, score, game over.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to Londonderry. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you, getting set for our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. It's the defending D1 champion Bishop Guertin Cardinals taking on the Londonderry Lancers on the final game, the final day of the regular season for these two teams. Both teams looking forward perhaps already to next week's Division I tournament. But still business to accomplish on the field. BG, they have not lost to an in-state opponent since the 2019 state championship game. They're unbeaten against New Hampshire competition again this year under first-year head coach Brian Cameron. 12-4 is the Cardinal record, right in the mix of, well, a few teams at the top of the D1 heap. And Londonderry, also under first-year leadership. Jimmy Ward has guided the Lancers to a 10-6 mark despite two straight losses, both on the road at Bedford and at Concord. So Londonderry on their home field, hoping to extend their win streak to 4 straight going into the tournament, Roger.
Yeah, this is going to be an exciting game. Not a lot of movement with either this game today in Division I or the game tomorrow, the final game of the season for anyone in Division I. In fact, these are the last 2 games in Division I to play out the season. More of a shuffling of the deck right now for the top 4 teams that will have a home game next week. This has more of a repercussion if Londonderry were to win this game to maybe leapfrog slightly near points over Merrimack, but that's still not going to get them in the top 4. So kind of a game to play it out for these teams. They're locked into their spots. BG especially is going to be locked in with a win or a loss in that 3rd spot, and we'll just see what happens with Bedford Pinkerton tomorrow in that top 1 and 2 spot.
Well, of course, the Cardinals short-handed tonight, minus several starters due to injuries, so Bishop Guertin hoping to make do with the plenty of talent they do have healthy here tonight on the road. When we come back, it's game time at the top of the hour. Londonderry and Bishop Guertin, season finale next. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another lacrosse program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
Back here at Lancer Park in Londonderry, where Bishop Guertin and Londonderry are set to square off. In our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, we're presented by Beals Insurance. Nick Anastas along with Roger Howe. Cardinals seeking a 5th straight state championship under a former player, now in the head coach's spot. That's former All-American Brian Cameron. Took over for his father, Chris, who, of course, has 13 state championship rings in his collection. Jimmy Ward, seemingly, Roger, has breathed a little bit of life into this program. Londonderry lost their home opener, but rallied to win, 10 games in their next 15 before dropping 2 straight their last time out. That loss against Concord also wrapped up a 5-game road trip, so this is their first home game in quite a while as well.
Yeah, really. I wonder why. Maybe just because of the weather. I don't know if that was set out that way, but, we've talked about NHIA's scheduling prowess this year, and it wouldn't surprise me if that's how it was. But I'll tell you this, yes, he has breathed some life into that program, and that was kind of a surprise to see that. But they're ready for this. I could hear it already, and from warm-ups, they're ready to go.
And we're underway. Paulo Vasquez, one of the state's best Fogos, is going to go ahead and capture the opening faceoff. He's going to keep it himself. He gets a step on the defender, draws a slide, has a split dodge, circles around the cage, and feeds it back out to one of the poles. That's Tyler McLeod. Well, we know about this Cardinal squad. Loaded with talent. They are short-handed, Roger. They've been dealing with injuries to the starting core over the last several weeks, but off to a good start here on the road with the opening possession.
Yeah, and this is a hard field to play on when you're used to playing on turf. And I think Coach Cameron, knowing that they're going to be in that top 4 spot anyways, no matter what the outcome today, probably is, letting those guys get healthy again.
Of course, as we know, the higher seed hosts the quarterfinal matchup. And then the semis and championship are both on a neutral site. Here's a shot. An underhanded release there that stays on the ground and goes wide. An offering there from Cam Hayden, one of the juniors for Bishop Guertin. Hayden committed to Penn State. Little dance here from Michael Ponto, and we got a violation.
Well, it wasn't shot clock, that's for sure. Nope. Didn't see a lot of contact out there, but
the defender there was one of Londonderry's better athletes, the senior Cam Ayotte. Going to play next year at Nichols College at the NCAA level. Good clear as Ayotte receives the pass. He's going to skip it near side. One-on-one shot and save. Smothered at the doorstep. That's the Bishop Guertin goaltender, Jonah Feliciano, the junior. Able to snub out a golden opportunity there for Londonderry's Owen Heward. The game remains scoreless, and now the Cardinals settle in for trip number 2.
Yeah, and I like the take he had there, too. He was going that corner, and Feliciano, and here we go. Ponto comes right back.
Shot and score, Michael Ponto. Well, in a lot of ways, Roger, he was the star of last summer's state championship game. He scored several goals in that tight win over Bedford. He gets the Cardinals off to the start they were looking for with a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, and he seems to be coming up on everyone's scorecard on every game. So, pinnacle player for them. Good to see him out there, number one, with the injuries that the Cardinals have expressed they're having right now. But, hey, good clear by Feliciano on that save, and they transitioned it right into pay dirt, which they do quite often.
It's just under 2 minutes gone by. Cardinals on the board, and now a face-off violation here against the Lancers. It's Austin Callahan, freshman, cutting his teeth here against one of the state's best, but a little too early there. Now the Cardinals a chance to double the advantage. Taking over here is Jack Redfern, freshman. Now Andrew Redfern, his older brother, the junior, one of the co-captains, is going to run point here for BG.
Yeah, not surprising that they are mixing it up at the face-off circle. Give Paulo a little bit of a break here before the playoffs.
Meanwhile,
good rip.
Shot and score. That one had some sizzle. Cam Hayden came off the ball screen and just let it rip. And just like that, it's a 2-0 BG lead.
Yeah, unassisted goal here, and just puts the speed to the pedal and keeps it going. Good rip for the Penn Stater. Good rip to that corner.
So, 2-0 with 2.5 gone by first quarter. Bishop Guertin seeking a 4th straight win and their 13th overall to close out the first regular season under new head coach Brian Cameron. Vasquez, meanwhile, back in, trying to box out, trying to dig now. Persistent effort from Callahan for Londonderry keeps this one still loose. Callahan surrounded by Green. The ball is now airborne. Juggling towards midfield. Vasquez loses his stick. And this one is turned into a pig pile.
Yeah,
Finally, it's the Cardinals who come up with it as Tyler McLeod saves the day. A good ground ball, well earned for the long pole.
Yeah, Paulo actually had that one a lot earlier than that showed. Timeout. Okay, this early.
Fished out by Colin Foley, and the senior headed to Riviere ensures the Cardinal possession. Early timeout, BG. Bishop Guertin with a 2-0 lead already on the board.
Yeah, interesting. I don't know if we can get a replay on that. Paulo won that, and he had the ball right in front of him, and he chose to box out rather than take that ground ball. Just interesting that he would take that tact. I don't know if he wanted the pole to come in on the far side and scoop that up, but he had a clear win there. And then next thing you know, you got a rugby pile going.
Looked like his teammate was in the area, but good effort both ways. On
seriously.
That sustained effort. Meanwhile, Roger, about to ask you about the playing surface.
Here we go.
Here at Lancer Park as we take another look at the replay. We have a grass field here, and that can affect the speed of the ball, right, in comparison to the turf surface.
Yeah, good point there, because it may have died where on turf that might have kept rolling, and you might have gone forward with that, thinking that the guy was coming in from the side there and was going to get it. So, yeah, very good point there. Very good point.
Meanwhile, 2-0 BG. They've had the advantage at the face-off X. Well, it seems like forever. There's been a parade of NCAA athletes at that position for BG. But over the last, handful or so, 4 years, I suppose, with this senior, Paulo Vasquez, he is, in a lot of ways, the standard of the position this year in 2025.
Yeah, the last 3 years, of course, he wasn't at BG his freshman year. But
there you go.
We should just put it on a tape so we don't have to talk so much.
Meanwhile, Hayden fakes the shot, goes to his left.
Good defense.
BG going to pull it back out. Ponto wants a turn. Spin move, rip, and score.
Again.
Goal number 2 for the senior. Ponto showing off the footwork. The bench gets a kick out of it. And BG all smiles right now with a 3-0 lead.
So interesting that we had that conversation with Coach Chris Cameron before the game about how Exeter zoned up on them yesterday in that close game that they had. We'll talk more about that through the broadcast. But they only scored their 7 goals. We say only, but I mean they scored 7 goals against a real tough zone from the Blue Hawks because they didn't really have their outside shooters. Well, Mr. Ponto is shown already in this game that he can shoot from that goalie's right side and be very effective.
Ponto with 2 goals. The other belongs to Cam Hayden. All in all, Bishop Guertin 3 scores in 3 minutes and 38 seconds. And they keep it rolling again at midfield. Vasquez doing his job, and now the Cardinal attack again looking to settle in. Bishop Guertin, meanwhile, receiving direction on the back end from some of these seniors defensively, including Andrew Cody, one of the long poles. Cody guarding that far post for the moment. Ayotte comes over defensively on the slide. Bishop Guertin 2 passes later, settles with Andrew Redfern. Redfern spins, fires. That one a few inches wide. It's backed up in the back corner by Owen King and will stay with Bishop Guertin.
Yeah, interesting that they are staying on that far side when they shoot from St. Gelaise's left side. And they're trying to pick that lower corner, too.
It's a two-man game. A one-on-one up top.
Ooh,
Hayden,
he's got it.
Circle. He scored from there earlier. He'll
Yep.
do it again here. Again, Hayden making it happen. Kind of shielding the defender there. A little bit of a shoulder, and then lets it rip again. That one with some speed, and it's 4-0.
Yeah, they got to know that Cam Hayward's got a first step speed that's pretty tough. No slide. That was what I was looking for. So literally no slide there from the Lancers. So that should be a slide way, way early, and they need to start correcting something on that.
That's the freshman Austin Callahan there defensively.
Yeah, that's going to be either programmed in that we're just going to start sliding quickly, or St. Gillet's got to be calling that as a fire or whatever terminology they're going to use.
Vasquez, another face-off win. Cardinals, another possession as BG looks to keep the momentum alive. Just about 5 minutes gone by here in this first quarter. Hayden at full speed. Give it up. King, cycle it. Try it far side now, another crisp pass. Coming downhill, Jackson Warren.
Oh, nice turn.
Shot.
Oh.
Sails high, backed up by King, though, as he takes it out of the sky. Trying to post up on Cody. BG reverses again. Hudson Schmidt.
Good save.
Senior co-captain. This one flies high in the sky, kind of dies in that corner. It stays inbounds, and there's BG again. Schmidt.
Oh.
Trying
Again.
to find King. Out middle, shot. Bouncer there from Ponto. A little bit wide. Good backup there by Ayotte to finally put a close to the possession. So Londonderry has it. They trail 4-0, and now both sidelines getting vocal as Londonderry looks for a clear.
Boy, if you go to take a second breath against BG on offense when they're backing up like that, you are in trouble.
Meanwhile, a turnover. And the energy stays high on the BG sideline. That ride has been formidable all season. They forced the first Londonderry turnover of the quarter. Meanwhile, Ponto trying to go back door. Pass a little off target, intended for Liam Connerty. Senior attack committed to Keene State. Cardinals will retreat. Get some fresh legs on the field as Jackson Warren rejoins the fray.
You know, we commented from games past about how big Cam Hayden looked way up in the press box. At this level, he's even bigger.
Yeah.
He's a big kid. Good
That's a
save.
bite. Shot there. They've rung the post. Ponto tracks down the ground ball to keep it at this end. Just past the midway point, first quarter. Cardinals with a 4-0 lead and threatening to add another. A little shake and bake for Jackson Warren. Behind the cage, King, his pass may have been deflected.
Yeah, it was. Ayotte.
This one, a roll towards midfield before it's scooped up by Schmidt. Schmidt wants a one-on-one. The defender is Connor Woodward, the senior for Londonderry. Near side wing, Hayden back to the top, drops it off. Backdoor cut, pass taken off the ground and then scored by Owen King. Well, another skip pass on the assist. BG has moved the ball well. King gets in on the scoring action for the first time, and it's a 5-0 Cardinal lead.
Yeah, it almost looked like Londonderry was trying to get into zone here and passed off and left the guy open in the middle. And that mishap pass down low to Owen King, or excuse me, the other BG crease attackman there, skips through to Owen King, but kind of a little bit of confusion, so thus the Londonderry timeout right now.
Our broadcast brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations in both Bedford, Londonderry, and Epping. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com. Start raising money for your team today. And finally, by the New Hampshire Tomahawks Showcase and Development for College Lacrosse. Find out more at nhtomahawks.com and also girls.nhtomahawks.com. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. Welcome to Lancer Park. If you're just joining us, Bishop Guertin hoping to close out the season with their fourth straight win and their 13th overall if they can get it done here on the road. Londonderry trying to stop a two-game skid in their season finale.
So, yeah, and let me go back. I did misspeak at the beginning of this game. If Bishop Guertin wins this game, they will actually leapfrog the loser of tomorrow's game by points. So they could
Tomorrow's game being Pinkerton
and Bedford, which is a fight for the top.
Which, by the way, we'll be broadcasting.
We will be broadcasting. So the loser will be in the third slot if BG wins this game, I guess is the popsicle headache way of thinking of it without getting the actual popsicle headache.
Well, that's the case this year,
It
right?
is.
At the top of the bracket, you've got, 4 teams right now with 4 losses? Oh, sorry, 3 teams.
Three teams with 4 losses, but Bedford and Pinkerton have identical records. So their point total is identical.
Right.
It's always the points, the way you look at it. And we're talking microscopic differences between the loser of tomorrow's game and BG if they were to win this game.
And again, we'll be broadcasting that game. 6 o'clock start tomorrow from Bulldog Stadium in Bedford. And that is the final Division I regular season game for
Watch
anybody.
this. Too much going on there.
Shot, bouncer, safe. Good slide. That's Broch St. Gelais, the sophomore, able to get down and dirty for his first save of the game. And again, body goes to the ground, and the ball is turned back over to BG. Good play along the boundary there by Liam Connerty. Said his name already. The senior headed to Keene State, making a good defensive play on the ride. And that's now 2 straight giveaways by Londonderry against this Cardinal ride.
Yeah, they're now 1 for 3 on clears, and BG is back to doing what they do so well.
Skip pass
on the
tipped.
ride.
There's Ayotte making a defensive play of his own for Londonderry.
Got to make that pass.
St. Gelais with a bouncing outlet pass that is eventually contained by Tyler Knapp, and the senior makes his way across midfield for Londonderry. So I guess this is just really the first offensive set we've seen from Londonderry.
Yes, it is. They came right down on that first shot on
in transition.
In transition, exactly. And
so let's see if they take a little of the air out of the ball.
I think you got to.
Right?
Yeah, you have to. You got to get a good. Now watch for BG to press out though. This is what BG does very, very well. Don't let you come up for air for even a second.
The Cardinal sideline.
Oh, nice play.
Heward was open out in front, never quite had it in the stick. Ground ball taken by the long pole, Colin Foley, and BG is off and running again.
Yeah, misfire there. That was a good setup play, though. We saw that in the Pinkerton game. Oh, nice.
Ponto, one-hand reel. Took the skip pass there from King. It almost flew out of bounds, but Ponto, Johnny on the spot. Michael Ponto, 2 goals. Cam Hayden, 2 goals. Owen King with 1. BG's got a 5-0 lead as we move inside the 3-minute mark. Shot, score, it's 6-zip.
Wow.
Tyler McLeod showing the offensive skills there, the junior long stick. Able to put a little sizzle on that shot. 6-0 Cardinals.
Yeah. Again, you cannot forget the 6 offensive players out there, no matter what the length of their stick is. And he just comes right down the gut. And, yeah, you can't treat that as a fast break. You gotta buckle up and man up on these guys.
Able to beat St. Gelais stick side.
That's such a hard release
6-0.
to even pick up for a goaltender.
Yeah.
Even that far out, it just is really tough.
Meanwhile, another win for Bishop Guertin's Paulo Vasquez at the face-off. I believe he's won every one of them. Right, Roger? Did Londonderry win 1?
No. The Apollos won 5, and the other gentleman there, number 17, won 1. So they have cleaned the board. Watch this.
Man open, shot and score. It's a bouncer for Liam Connerty. Made a good defensive play a moment ago on the ride. This time he finds the sweet spot out in front. And the pass is on time. And the rest is history. 7-0 BG here in this first quarter.
7-0, but, watch for BG to start trying to get more assists out of this game. They have already proven that they can score one-on-one, unassisted goals. Let's see what they do with their offense as they get down there and they set things up and maybe not do as much transition to kind of get things, rocking and rolling on the offensive side with their set plays.
Vasquez the win. Assists Jonah Feliciano's help out of net with a backward pass there. And now it's the long pole Andreas Steinbruick, sophomore. His pass a little high. Foley can't quite capture it. Now it's up for grabs.
And they get it.
Foley out of the fray.
Nice
Back
play.
door to Ponto over the shoulder. Shot and score. A little razzmatazz out in front of the cage. Ponto's got a first quarter hat trick, and BG continues to roll. It's 8-0.
Well, what do you do when you got a pole that has got that kind of skill?
Not much.
Not much. I mean, they're just not picking it up, and you take what the defense gives you in this game, and beautiful play by Ponto. Yeah, call that a hattie in the first.
The Showtime Cardinals making it look easy here on the road with 100 seconds remaining in this opening quarter. Ponto, the hat trick to lead the way. And the Cardinals continue to dominate at the face-off X. That may have been a win for Samson Sand, Jr.
Yeah.
Giving Vasquez some relief. And again, the Cardinals' attack is back to work. Schmidt to his right, eye on the cage.
Nice
Shot
save.
stopped. And then St. Gelais trying to dive out in front to secure the ground ball, but his teammates do that for him as Graham Cunningham is there, one of the freshmen. So here comes Londonderry. Going to push it deep into the Cardinal end. Heward going to take over in the near corner. And the Lancers with 1 minute to go in this first quarter, hoping to get on the board here.
Yeah, they gotta take this last shot, make it their own, ride out this quarter, but feel good about themselves with putting one up.
Here's the senior Parker Lewis, one of the captains, and an NCAA commit of his own. He's going to play at Southern New Hampshire University next year. Here's a move from Trey Campbell, member of this talented freshman class, who's gotten a lot of playing time here at the varsity level this year. Blake Thompson feed it over to Colby Walden. Walden, one of their veterans, going to fire here, a bouncer, a little bit wide. It'll stay at this end, but the clock now a factor with just 16 seconds.
Yeah, look for them to look towards Colby a little bit more when they get these offensive possessions.
King trying to muscle his way. That's not going to happen. Lewis now up top.
Good
Lowers
play.
the shoulder. The defender stumbles. The bouncer is high. And that's going to do it for the first quarter here at Lancer Park. It's all Bishop Guertin, 8-0 after 12 minutes of action. Londonderry hoping to respond when we come back. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
What a quarter for the Cardinals, the defending Division I champs, with an 8-0 lead on the road here in Londonderry. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Regular season finale for both teams. And just a dominant first quarter, Roger, as the Cardinal face-off game, the attack, and the ride all contributing to that first quarter success.
Perfection. No blemishes on the card. 8-0, 4 for 4 on clears, 9-0 on faceoffs. Hard to argue with what they're doing out there.
Londonderry looking for answers, hoping to avoid a third straight loss before the tournament. They're in either way, as we talked about. We've got the play-in round coming up on Tuesday. That's likely to feature Dover and Nashua South. Quarterfinals will begin on Thursday, and we'll see both these teams somewhere matched up in that Elite Eight round.
Yeah, for sure.
Meanwhile, second quarter action.
Oh, out of the box.
This one kicked ahead. Lancer freshman trying to get to it, but Austin Callahan can't quite catch up. And now King trying to chase down an errant pass along the far sideline. That Cardinal pressure has been persistent, and they force another Lancer turnover there.
Boy, and the Lancers have got to pick up their ride in their coverage on the midfield. The Cardinals get their LSM right up to the midfield on the cone side, and he's been exposed there most of the game, and they're hitting him on that first pass without fail.
Meanwhile, Hayden scored twice in that first quarter. On the run, rips it again. This one an inch or so high. Scored twice in similar fashion in that first quarter. Again, the junior committed to Penn State. Ponto looked good with 3 goals, including one over the shoulder, no look. Getting hassled here from Cam Ayotte. Now up top, Hunter Schmidt looking to work to his right. He'll let it fly. That one is wide.
And Hayden's going to be one of those guys that I'm going to wake up on Sunday morning and I'm going to go to my tablet and I'm going to find out what his stat sheet looks like in a couple of years. I'm a Penn State guy. Grew up in Pennsylvania. They made the Final Four this year. Anybody that tracks that kind of stuff on the collegiate side. But, man, he's going to a team that is stacked and loaded with talent, and he'll fit right in nicely there.
And, of course, only a junior, so expected back at PG next year.
Oh, and that's going to be a push.
Yeah, we got a push here against Bishop Guertin. Steinbruick tangling there with Walden. Walden hit the ground right in front of the official. By the way, 2-man crew today, both veterans, Peter Burkhart and Tyler Leeds, blowing the whistles. No penalties either way handed out in that first quarter. Nearly 2 minutes into the second. Still an 8-0 game. Londonderry only had, 4 or 5 possessions in that first quarter, if that, maybe 3 or 4. But
yeah.
Right now trying to make the most of it here against what's been a relentless defensive effort here from BG.
Well, they had a couple of chances, but, there it is.
There's
Beautiful.
A shot and a score, yep.
We'll take that.
Looks like it went low to high. It's Owen King on the submarine release. Not Owen King, rather, but Owen Heward.
Yeah.
The sophomore attack for Londonderry makes it an 8-1 contest.
Yeah, I want to see who got the apple on this because this was a nice pass right inside. It was number 9. Okay, so, yeah, good offensive turnaround there for them. They get the first tally here, the second.
Able to beat Jonah Feliciano there. Feliciano had a highlight-type save early in the game. Shut down what was a Londonderry fast break, so a little Lancer revenge there. Cardinals look for a quick response, and they'll hit a post instead. Ponto, good split dodge, but an inch or so the difference there. That one rings the bell. Cardinals keep it at this end. King tracks down another ground ball. I'm going to shuffle the cards. And now Andrew Redfern is downhill. Bouncer.
Another
Door
save.
closed again. 5-hole snapshot. St. Gelais is third save.
Yep.
But more problems here as the Cardinal ride. A little over-aggressive there. Yeah, no, we have a Londonderry timeout.
No.
No?
No. Procedure. He might have been offsides on the other side. That was right in front of official Leeds.
That makes sense. So Londonderry keeps it. St. Gelais going to help out against the clear.
They got to start clearing the ball.
Sophomore looking downfield. Going to whip it. Yep. Got an open man. It's Aiden Stoll, the junior. Stoll going to circle things back around here on the near wing. Londonderry looking to stitch together 2 straight. Get back within 6 with just over 3 minutes gone by in this second quarter.
Yeah, you can hear Coach Luke Solms telling his defense, get out on the ball. They want to deny the ball here.
Thompson over to Walden. Took his eye off it, but scoops it back up. Walden, of course, a former goaltender. Made the switch over to attack last season, and the senior will continue his college or his lacrosse career at the college level with Plymouth State next season. Walden still with it. Thought about going to the net. Pass a little too hot for Heward. Max effort by the Bishop Guertin defender Foley, and Foley comes up with it. Great play by the long pole. Hooks up with another pole. That's McLeod. McLeod coming down the middle. He's got an open man. Connerty there. King trying to get to it. Connerty spikes it. This one now loose behind the cage for Londonderry. Lancers do get to it as Trey Campbell able to scoop that one belt high. St. Gillet's outlet pass handled by Thompson. He's double teamed.
He's trapped.
Steps over the line and then flips it over the defender.
Good clear.
Where the freshman Trey Campbell is there.
Boy, I'll tell you, though, the Cardinals got back on that ride really quick, though. Ponto came crashing in, and they almost didn't make that clear happen.
Meanwhile, BG now trying to fish it out of their own end.
Ooh.
Look out, big hit as Hayden collides with Ayotte. Now Hayden down the middle, fakes the shot, bounces one wide. Well, did everything right except the finish there. Hayden looking for the hat trick. Our game stays with an 8-1 score.
Yeah, and they got lucky on that clear because the Lancers were crashing in, which they need to continue to do.
Meanwhile, King going back to work against Tyler Knapp. Bouncer. Not sure what happened there, if it was redirected by a defender or
well, that's like the
save.
third bounce shot that's really gone weird, which is not unusual on this field or any grass field in New Hampshire, quite frankly, but just a weird bounce.
Nearing the midway point, second quarter. Cardinals put up all 8 of their goals in the first frame. Slide comes, got a bounce pass taken up top. This is Jack Redfern, the freshman. A little bit of a jab step, but nothing doing there. And now Andrew Redfern takes over.
Watch this.
Here's Ponto. Well, almost fell. Back up top, they'll reverse it. Cardinals showing patience. Londonderry trying to communicate. Nowhere to go again. Now King will take over. Absorbs a check. Fires and scores.
Yep.
Top shelf.
Yeah.
Well, he took the bump and held his ground. Release. And that one had some sizzle to it as well. Second goal for King. And now a 9-1 Cardinal advantage.
Yeah, Owen is very strong, built like a wrestler. He knows the leverage points. He knows where to use that pressure from the defender, and he literally just does all of that work himself based on leverage and where the defender was overcommitting on the body. So you could just see it coming as he got into that 5x5.
So King with his second. And it's the first Bishop Guertin goal of the quarter. And now a 9-1 advantage. Vasquez is going to jog off the field after securing his team, the possession, and this Cardinal line continuing to work. BG a little short-handed, as we talked about at the top of the broadcast, Roger, but that has not affected the outcome, at least so far. As some of these players getting an opportunity and making the most of it, including perhaps the freshman here, but that one a little wide. Still impressive stuff there from Jack Redfern. It'll stay with BG.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a whole lot of losses out there when it comes to BG's offense. Definitely aren't affected, apparently, like they were yesterday. Oh, nice turn.
Bouncing shot. St. Gelais is there. Looked like maybe a kick save. Either way, his fourth stop. Sophomores look sharp despite giving up the 9. Gonna help out on the clear. Goes down the sideline. He's got Heward. Heward is open. Looks to the middle. Little give and go with Walden. Heward makes a man miss. Going to circle behind the cage. Doesn't find a cutter. Instead goes back to the wing, and Londonderry will reset with Odin Delory. Another one of these talented freshmen making the most of it for Londonderry. Here's Lewis on the move. Walden from the wing. Step down, shot and score. Boy, that one well placed.
I'll say.
Walden going to pump the fist. Lancers starting to show some signs on the attack. Their second goal of the quarter. It's 9-2.
Well, deja vu from the Pinkerton game that we did earlier this season where he stood there in that spot on EMO and 6-on-6 and just rifled it away. And he has got a very good comfort level on that side, and he knows how to pick the corner. That one was actually right on top of the world, so he just put some extra effort into that.
Meanwhile, Vasquez, another win. And BG back on the attack. Noah Guerrera, defender. Senior headed to Florida Tech, helping out there on the clear. I know the pace slowed down a bit as Hayden examines his options. We tick towards the 4-minute mark. Cardinals have been in control, outscored Londonderry 8-0 in that first quarter, but the home team showing more fight so far here in the second. Meanwhile, this is the elder Redfern, Andrew, the junior. Back to the wing. Hayden thought about it. Comes off the screen. Fires and scores. Boy, it looked like 3 defenders in the area there. Didn't matter. Hayden not to be denied in this first half. The junior with his game-high 4th goal to make it 10-2.
Well, let's see if the slide came as quickly as I thought it did on this replay, because it looked like the slide comes early. It does, but he tries to stick check, and he doesn't come fast enough towards the body. So, yeah, big guy, fast, big rifle. Got to make him. Got to disrupt something there, at least a little bit. Get the stick into the stick area. Get it into the arms.
Meanwhile, Vasquez knocked down here.
Yeah,
Lancer freshman Callahan called for the violation, going over the top. And again, Vasquez delivers the goods. It's been perfect. Got a little bit of a limp here, though, as he comes back to the visitor sideline.
Yeah, well, he got pushed and he got hit in the back, so might be a little combination of things. When you get pushed like that and get pushed to the ground, your knee can kind of buckle, your ankle can kind of buckle. It looks like he's dragging an ankle there.
Yeah, the senior going to take a look here.
Yeah.
As he takes a seat behind his teammates on the sideline. Meanwhile, the BG attack is back to work. Hoping to open up a 9-goal lead for the first time. Hayden trying to give it to him, dancing on that wing, but the shot a little bit wide.
Yeah, big face dodge. Would love to see the face dodge right in your...
We've seen that a few times.
Right into your cage and then come down with a little dip and then tries to go belt line.
Ayotte on the slide, gave him a little bit of a nudge there after the release. Meanwhile, this one lights the lamp. It's Hudson Schmidt, the junior. Pretty good move on his own. Takes advantage of his position on the wing and goes top shelf. It's 11-2, largest lead for BG now on the board.
Well, the Lancers can be aggressive as they want on defense, but if you're going to let them face dodge around you like that without holding your ground and at least getting a good bump, this is what's going to happen all day to any team. You got to get right up in their grill and disrupt, and we're not seeing a lot of that from the boys in white tonight. New face-off kid.
Yeah, we saw Samson San in there earlier, I believe, Roger.
Yeah.
And he's 2 for 2. Has some help from his teammate on the wing, Guerrera. Guerrera trying to find some breathing room. Is going to hook up with Andrew Redfern. Cardinals have looked good. A goal here would open up a 10-goal gap for the first time, and that would trigger a first-half running clock.
Watch this.
Hayden, not quite clean on the release there as it flies high.
Yeah, it goes to his left hand there and just whistles it over the top.
Hayden's been a handful here, 4 goals. Got Cam Ayotte on him now. I thought Ayotte was sticking with King earlier. Meanwhile, this one, mishandled out of the stick. The freshman Jack Redfern does recover in the corner.
That's the matchup I think they need to stay with, is Cam Ayotte on Hayden. They had him on Ponto earlier.
It was Ponto, that's who it was.
They had him on Ponto, and that's fine, but, I mean, it's a coach's dilemma. I mean, who do you shut off?
Classic pick your poison. Right?
Yeah, and I think, the bigger body with the better defenders, it makes more sense.
Meanwhile, the freshman trying to free himself up, goes to the ground and scores.
Wow.
Jack Redfern apparently stepped inside the circle. No goal. It stays 11-2. Lancers waste little time on the outlet. Ayotte, the pole, trying to muscle into the front court, and we get a timeout.
Yeah, good timeout by Coach Ward. Absolutely. You need the ball here.
That's going to stop the clock. with a $1:23 to go before halftime. So Londonderry, well, hoping to play the Cardinals even in this second quarter. The problem is it was that 8-0 hole that put them, well, put their backs to the wall here at home.
Yeah, for sure. And I love being this close to the field and doing broadcasts because we get to hear all the coaches. We get to hear all their antics and everything. But
and the sidelines have been vocal today as well.
The sidelines have been vocal. That's very positive. But just to hear Coach Chris Cameron immediately when his player was in the crease, he was already calling up his defenders to get to the 50-yard line, cover up. He knew the clear was going to be fast. It was going to be a quick whistle, and they were right on it. And this is what this coaching staff traditionally has just not missed much when it comes to what the game is heading into, you know, what the result of things are.
And, of course, we know former head coach Chris Cameron is still a big part of the program, an official assistant coach. He's here on the sideline again today, but Brian Cameron has done an outstanding job in the minds of many in year number one. Again, guiding PG to a 12-4 record. Those 4 losses against some of the best teams in New England, all of them outside of New Hampshire.
Yeah.
He's maintained that unbeaten streak against in-state competition for the program for now 6 years, almost 6 full calendar years. So the mantle
had a couple
has
close
been passed,
calls,
but it's been a smooth transition.
Had a couple close calls in the last couple of games, though. Dover hung in there and had matched their longest or their widest goal scan. The widest gap is what I was trying to say. 16-10.
Yeah.
Dover hung in there, and then of course the 1 goal difference yesterday in yesterday's game. They still have the unbeaten record in state.
Yep.
No doubt.
And they have played championship-style lacrosse in this first half, especially that first quarter. But Londonderry showing they're up for the challenge here in the second quarter, trying to score for a third time before halftime as we close in on 1 minute to go. Skip pass taken near side, nowhere to go for Thompson. Back up top for Lewis, doesn't like it either. He's going to backtrack, take on Guerrara here one-on-one. Gets past the midfielder. Lewis looking, nowhere to go. Now, Brody Campbell going to cycle it far side. Back up top again to Odin Delaroy. Delaroy slips. Clock, meanwhile, down to 40 seconds. Lewis can't keep it in his stick either. Fishes it off the grass. And again, a one-on-one commences against Guerrera. To his left, Lewis across the zone. There's somebody home. Shot and score.
How about that?
It's Brody Campbell. Took the pass off the bounce, through a crowd, knew what to do with it. And Londonderry does cash in the final minute here. 28 seconds remaining before halftime. Third goal of the quarter for the Lancers, and it's 12-3.
Well, one of the things that the Lancers have always had is an advantage.
11-2, Roger.
Yeah.
11-2 turns into 11-3.
There we go. And what they've always had as an advantage is their athleticism, and they actually showed a little more athleticism on that last set. They were running, they were finding spots, they were dodging, they were getting in and out of spots, and they were covering up, and that paid off for them finally.
So now, Coach Brian Cameron going to call a timeout as Vasquez, good to see back in the game after he was a little sluggish earlier. After an apparent lower body injury, that seems like it's already in the past. He comes back in the game, wins the faceoff. Cardinals get a timeout here with 23.5 seconds to go until halftime. Coming up at halftime, stats, highlights, analysis, full recap, out-of-town scoreboard, all the good stuff coming up at the break.
So, good timeout. You're going into the playoffs. This might be more of a strategic, hey, if we're in a close game, this is what we're going to do, in a tight game where there's very little time left on the clock. We may be down a goal, up a goal, whatever, tied, and you want to throw in a play here with the time left on the clock, which is roughly 23 and a half seconds. So, True to form with this team, thinking ahead. Mm-hmm. Okay, clearly they don't need a goal here, and they could have certainly held for last shot with what they had going there after the face-off win. Would not be surprised to see them run a play at this point.
Meanwhile, how do you defend here for Londonderry? Business as usual, or?
Man, I would go zone here, and I mean, maybe not here on this particular play, given the time left in the half. I think you come out maybe in zone. We know that worked yesterday for Exeter, and try to regroup that way. But right here, I think you try to lock off adjacent, make sure that and they're not going to do that. They're going to let King stand alone by himself, get a touch. Maybe they'll end up with King. Who knows?
Down to 20 seconds. Cardinals looking for one more before halftime. Near side, Ponto, spin move, draws a slide.
Good slide,
Ayotte
too.
on the switch, back out. Redfern up top, step down off the crossbar. Ball's going to ricochet to midfield, go out of bounds, and time is going to expire. First half in the books. Bishop Guertin got off to that big 8-0 lead. Londonderry plays the Cardinals to a 3-3 standstill in that second quarter, but still a big lead for the visitors at the break. It's 11-3 here at Lancer Park.
Yeah, just a good half of lacrosse for the Cardinals. Like, we haven't said that before, but we'll see what they can do to regroup against this great team. Glad
to hear that they have the horn situation.
Yeah, that was
under
kind of
control.
annoying, wasn't it? we have scoreboard problems here at Londonderry, so.
But Tony's all over it, doing a great job. He's doing three people's job here.
Yeah.
At the same time, so good stuff. Anyway, we'll be back in a few minutes. Look back at that first half. Full recap, stats, highlights, and analysis on what was a big first half for Bishop Guertin. 11-3 at the break. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week. It's presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another lacrosse program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
Halftime here at Lancer Park. Bishop Guertin leading Londonderry by a score of 11-3. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week. We're presented by Beals Insurance. Nick Anastas along with Roger Howe. Well, the Cardinals came in winners of 3 straight, including a 1-goal win yesterday against Exeter. And they came in here ready to play. They scored 8 goals in that first quarter. Saw a hat trick from Cardinal senior Michael Ponto. 2 from Cam Hayden. Owen King and the long pole Tyler McLeod all scored. Don't forget about Liam Carnady as well. 8-zip after 12 minutes of play. Paulo Vasquez dominant in the face-off circle, or at the face-off X, as BG won all but 1 throughout the first half. That fueled that 8-0 run in the first quarter. Londonderry, though, seemed to gain their bearings in the second quarter. A much better effort, and the result was a 3-3 frame. Owen Heward, Colby Walden, and Brody Campbell all scoring for Londonderry in that second quarter, although BG had answers. King again, Hayden, and then Hudson Schmidt gets in on the action in the final 3 minutes. So that's where we are, 11-3. Major advantages, as we talked about at X. That ride for BG was certainly very formative in the first quarter. And the Lancer attack hoping to pick up where they left off here in the upcoming third quarter to at least make this thing competitive.
Yeah, and they need to be athletic, as we mentioned at the close of the half. That's the only way that they're going to get back into this game, and they have to use that athleticism not only to just retain possession and keep it away from the Cardinals, keep them from scoring, but that's one of the advantages that they have is actually is just across the school. Every time I've listened to any of the broadcasts across the board with our own team here, whether it's football or basketball, they have the athletes, they have the horses that can do that. Wear the Cardinals down, get possession, and try to really work, the corners that they're so good at. And we've seen this season between Heward and Colby Walden, for example. That connection, I think, in that Pinkerton game, they had 7 combined goals and probably 10 points, if I recall. And they need to take advantage of that and try and isolate those guys in spots. In fact, Colby Walden had a short stick on him at least 2 times in that first half. Take advantage of those switches and try and manufacture some offense here.
And again, this one may or may not impact the final standings. We still have another day of action tomorrow, and we're in action over in Bedford as the Bulldogs play host to Pinkerton. That game gets going at 6 o'clock. Our pregame coverage begins a little before that. Again, Pinkerton and Bedford tomorrow. Astros, Bulldogs, and Cardinals, all with 4 losses. So things not quite settled atop the D1 standings with, I guess, now a little more than 24 hours, a little less than 24 hours to go.
Yeah, this game, given the status it's at right now, it looks like it's really not even going to be an issue about where Londonderry ends up. It's going to be an issue of where Bedford or Pinkerton end up, because I believe, if my math is correct, BG is going to win this game. They're going to be in that second slot. So I think the bottom 4 teams are going to be wondering who's going to get BG in the first round here.
As we know, 9 teams make the playoffs in Division I, which means there's 1 play-in game, and that comes your way on Tuesday. The winner advances to the quarterfinals, and then we have the entire quarterfinal round coming up on Thursday. We'll have coverage for that as well. And, of course, the top 4 seeds play host in that quarterfinal round. The semifinals and the championship are at a neutral site.
Yeah, it looks like that play-in game is going to be a home game for Dover, given where they're at in that play-in game, 8th and 9th slot.
Here's Hayden, going to fire one high. Cardinals will keep it.
So the South Panthers will be traveling up to Dover in that play-in game on Tuesday.
Meanwhile, little one-on-one up top. Schmidt, who scored in that first half, going to spin, dumps it, got a man open, shot off the crossbar again. It's the 3rd time BG has rung the bell. St. Gelais, the goaltender, okay with that. Meanwhile, Hayden to his right, releases and scores over the shoulder of the sophomore St. Gelais and Bishop Guertin. Once again, equaling their largest lead. It's 12-3.
Well, Mr. Connerty is going to owe Mr. Schmidt a case of Coke or something for that lost assist the play prior. But yeah, St. Gelais got to get ready because Cam Hayden can come over the top like he did, and that went right over the top of his helmet. Right in there. Big, tall kid.
So Hayden looked unstoppable at times in that first half, now with 4 goals. And Bishop Guertin again threatening to trigger a running clock with 1 more after winning the faceoff.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm sure Guertin is okay with that. I mean, just get in, get out, get rested.
And get ready for the tournament.
Yeah, they'll have a whole week to get healthy, figure it out, and be ready to go.
Shot looked like the back of the defender, Cody. Went off the senior's shoulder.
But nobody picks him up.
While Ponto getting hacked at by Ayotte, goes to his left and scores.
But just keeps coming.
Well, Ponto, you're right, takes a licking and keeps on ticking. Absorbed a lot of contact there on his way to another goal. That's number 4 for Ponto.
But, yeah, they're all over him, but there's no body on the ground. There's nobody disrupting what they're doing. It's one thing to hang on the offensive player or double them up, and these guys are just too strong and too skilled. Look, I mean, they're just walking around and putting a stick on it. You got to come off that slide, and you got to be ready to body up, not stick check.
Easier said than done.
Well,
against Ponto, the senior, headed to RPI next year.
True, but I mean, if you're going to slide, you
got to commit, right?
You got to commit, and you got to commit to the body.
So we've got ourselves a running clock situation with a 10-goal gap. BG leading Londonderry 13-3, and already 2.5 minutes gone by in this fast-moving third quarter. Big crowd here at Lancer Park. It's been a fun one. I can ask this, Roger Howe, with you. There's a bouncing offering from the freshman Jackson Warren. It jumps over the cage. Cardinals keep it in. Nowhere to go for the younger Redfern. Near side, Hayden, all eyes on the junior. Shot and score. Somehow snuck that between the shoulder of St. Gelais and just below the crossbar for goal number 5.
Yeah, and again, let's just look at this. You don't generally slide adjacent, but you in this situation you got to slide whatever. 15 gets caught a little bit, and again that first slide from the crease is very, very slow and really not existent.
It's like the slider stumbled a bit.
Yeah, and that was number 15. When you don't, like I said, you don't generally slide adjacent, but you have to sometimes, and he got caught up. So
Londonderry is going to win the faceoff for just the second time in the game. The freshman Austin Callahan. Say what you want about the youngster. He's done a little bit of everything for Londonderry, including losing his glove there. It's going to warrant the whistle from one of our 2 referees, Peter Burkhart. Allows the youngster to grab that left glove and head to the Londonderry sideline.
Yeah, they don't like laundry on the field. Get it on.
Callahan's taken the majority of the faceoffs. A lot of responsibility for the freshman.
Him and Aiden Marshall have been splitting duties, but he's been doing the heavy lifting.
Meanwhile, Londonderry trying to find some flow here. All 3 of their goals were scored in that second quarter.
Yeah, this is it. Get athletic. Start running.
Thompson to his left.
Start running.
Longtime kicker for the football team, Roger.
Who's that, Nick?
Thompson.
Blake Thompson? Yeah.
Clutch kicks for the Lancers.
Looks like a wide receiver or tight end. He's
also
a big kid.
Also one of their basketball players.
That would make sense.
Yep. Meanwhile, a little shake and bake here for Walden.
Nice
Back door
Oh.
catch. Heward trying to fire that one a little off balance. Ball stops in the corner, still in bounds. Londonderry gets to it.
Well, that's that connection we were talking about. That's what they need to start manufacturing from. Don't normally see Heward.
Here's Brody Campbell.
Oh, I like that.
Nice shot. Knocked down by Feliciano, and then he stamps out the fire by collecting the loose ball. Nice outlet pass taken by Ponto, the pole. Ponto flips to his left. Jump catch.
Oh.
Cross pass. Shot and score for Owen King.
Wow.
The assist there for Ponto. The pass was over the top of the defense, and King knew what to do. It's BG continuing to roll. It's 15-3. 4 unanswered since halftime for the Cardinals.
Yeah, just a really good, clear, quick, precise, find the openings. Yep. 14 goes cross field. You got to know where your guys are.
So 15-3. Nearly 5 minutes gone by third quarter. Vasquez still in and still effective for Bishop Guertin. He may want one of his own here, but Cam Ayotte jammed him up a bit. Ball loose and now controlled again by the Cardinals as they're bailed out by the long pole, Tyler McLeod. Meanwhile, Ponto gets inside his defender, rings the pipe. That ball kind of curled around the near post. That allows Londonderry to initially get there. Tyler Knapp runs into trouble, and now we get a timeout. I'm guessing. No, we have a penalty. I spoke too soon. A penalty. First penalty either way. We were flag free in that first half.
Yeah.
It's against
6:53.
Who's this against here?
It's number 17, so it's got to be on the Cardinals. So it's Tyler McLeod.
Yeah, McLeod is going to take a sigh and then take a knee. The junior co-captain apparently not pleased with the call.
Yeah, so get a quick stop here. Reload on the EMO for Londonderry, see what they can do.
So the EMO unit on the field here. Lancers looking for their first goal since halftime.
Yeah, watch Walden to drift down into this far wing spot nearest us from Cam Ayotte.
Pass deflected and taken away by BG. Steinbruick is there. Off the back foot, hooks up with the goaltender. Feliciano fishes it towards midfield. Ayotte comes crashing in to break it up.
Smart play by Cam. He knew he was not going to be offsides and committed to that fully.
Ground ball ends up with Londonderry. Walden thinking about it. Fires. That one tipped by either the defender or the goaltender.
So I like Cam's aggressiveness there. That's what you need to do. Sorry, Nick, but this should be a lock-off situation. They're a little bit of confusion on the Cardinals side on this clear, but they do make it successful. But Lancers, and they just were kind of sloughed back in that zone for their ride. They could have been breaking it right down.
So the Cardinals kill the penalty and get right back to business here as we approach the 5-minute mark, third quarter. Andrew Redfern to his left.
Nice check.
Yep. And again, that's the freshman Callahan. Little one-on-one. Now Ayotte going to close out. This one floated over near side. To his right comes Schmidt. Back behind the cage. 2 men there for BG. Starting to see some subs infiltrate the lineup here.
Yeah.
As Brady Donahue is out there, junior midfielder for the first time.
Yeah. We got
Sean Krause is there, a senior, getting some playing time.
All right, we're going to have a hold here on the Lancers. Yeah, it's going to be on
Ayotte.
On Ayotte.
So we see the Cardinal penalty a moment ago, and then Londonderry commits their first.
Yeah. The only good news on this for the Lancers is that it's a 30-second, and we got a run clock. So
down to 4 minutes here, third quarter.
Little confusion on the Cardinals here in their EMO unit. So I'm going to go 4-minute mark here, Nick.
Yep. All right. Hayden and some of the starters are back out, including King, who takes the pass.
Rotation has been impressive, and there's Hayden again.
So,
Roger, you make enough passes, eventually somebody's open, and there's been the star of the game so far, frankly, Cam Hayden Jr. on his way to Penn State, scores yet again 6 goals tonight.
Well, and this is the thing. You have got to move bodies, and I don't know how many times I've said in the broadcast over the last 5 years, when you have 30 seconds, you really have no time to mess around by playing perimeter ball. You've got to get bodies moving, and if you want to play perimeter ball, at least go circle and do some sort of rotation on the outside perimeter and get bodies moving. Prime example right there.
Yep. Meanwhile, Samson Sand has made his impact on the game. Has relieved Vasquez at the face-off X, and he's been undefeated.
And that is going to be an EMO goal, because even though that was a running clock, I had the mark at 3:35. So that is
just 19 seconds.
Yeah, just very close, but right in there.
Hayden, 3 goals in the first half, 3 more in this third quarter, including that EMO strike a moment ago. Stephen Kukalakis Jr., he's on the field. He's the latest from the Kukalakis family, on both the boys and the girls' side. Long history there. And Stephen the Jr. getting his first action here in this third quarter.
Yeah, that might be an interesting stat if you could actually get that kind of data from maybe the AD department down at Bishop Guertin about how many siblings have played girls and boys lacrosse, and even within the same gender program, because we've seen it a lot over the years. Even before we did broadcast, back when I was doing Bedford stuff, just a lot of kids that just continue to come down the lineage and have a history with the Cardinals. You probably see it a lot with football and basketball, I would imagine.
Meanwhile,
oh,
there he is, right on schedule. Kukalakis lets it go. St. Chalet is there with the save. Roger, how many's that for the sophomore?
That's actually 6 for him. He had 5 in the first half alone.
It's his first of the third quarter. Here comes Ayotte off the clear. The long pole senior. Bouncer denied. Kicked away by Feliciano. Scooped up by BG's Tyler McLeod. Feliciano with, I believe, 3 saves of his own.
I will confirm that. 1 in the first and 3 here in the third. So Lancer's picking up the attack, yeah.
Meanwhile, we're down inside of the final minute, third quarter. It's been the Cardinals in the driver's seat really from the get-go. They scored less than 2 minutes into the game, scored 8 goals in that first quarter, and took an 8-0 lead into the second. Londonderry woke up and battled the Cardinals to a 3-3 second quarter tie.
Nice save.
There's another stop for St. Gelais. And BG wasting little time, scoring 5 straight
goals.
There it
is, finally.
In this third quarter. It's a big hit from Ayotte. Flag flies as Brady Donahue was knocked down right in front of the official. Roger doesn't like the call, but Peter Burkhart, the official, does. Second BG penalty.
I don't like the call, not because it's the wrong call, but it's because the Lancers finally put a body on somebody, and they get a flag on it. Now, let's see. Yeah, he led with the stick. I don't know. I don't know.
That's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter. Cardinals break this one open. It's a 16-3 lead as we head to the fourth quarter. Final 12 minutes of the regular season for these two teams. Coming up next, you are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471 888-866-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Back here in Londonderry, where the Lancers trail Bishop Guertin by a score of 16-3 as we head towards the final 12 minutes of the regular season for both of these teams. Nick Anastas along with Roger Howe. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Bishop Guertin looking to close out the regular season campaign under first-year head coach Brian Cameron at 13-4. A victory tonight on the road would also be their fourth straight. Lancers were hoping to put an end to a two-game skid, but going to need a big fourth quarter in order to avoid their third straight loss. Either way, both of these teams good enough to qualify for the upcoming Division I tournament, and will both be seeded somewhere in the top 8 in the quarterfinal round.
Yeah. So no face. BG retained possession at the end of the third with that penalty, and they're on EMO right off the bat here.
That shot there won't get through. Too many bodies in the way for Ponto. Colin Foley hooks up with Ponto, now back to Foley. Cardinals on their second EMO. And they'll cash in again.
Good Lord.
Impressive stuff from Ponto.
Good Lord.
As he plucks a chicken there, top shelf, to make it now 17-3.
I'm going to have to come up with a new one. You keep stealing that from me. Yeah, that was a whole chicken coop right there, because he just rips this thing. Every part of his body and being was into that. Leg, arms, head up. Just a terrific shot.
Ponto scored the game's opening goal, scored 3 goals in that first quarter.
And that's going to be their second EMO goal, too.
Yeah, scored an even strength goal in the third, and then the EMO goal there to open up this fourth quarter.
Yep. So new goalie for the Cardinals, that's LeClaire. And we saw him in the very first game of the season that we did against St. John's come in the fourth quarter.
It's the sophomore Jordan LeClaire.
Big boy.
One of the taller players on either team.
Yeah, big boy.
See there, his top of his helmet comes over the crossbar when he's standing up straight. Shot and score. That's Walden. Got the step on the defender and then sneaks it stick side to beat LeClaire. Second goal for Walden. Londonderry swinging here in the fourth quarter, 17-4.
Okay, Walden working from the other side this time and taking his man one-on-one and getting a nice goal there. And again, they're running here. You run. It's a running game, and great placement. Did not have to put a lot of mustard on that. Just good placement.
First goal of the second half for Londonderry.
New face-off guy for the Cardinals, too, number 31. Gets it.
Yeah, he's been in there. That's San, who has done a pretty good job. I think he's 4-0, maybe 5-0.
Oh, you're thinking 33, I think.
No, I think it's been
City?
San.
Oh, it has been San?
I think so,
Okay,
yeah.
I thought it was 33, the long pole that they had been throwing out there.
Either way, it's been a collective effort led by starter Paulo Vasquez. The senior, though, appears to be done for the day.
I know I would. I'd put him to bed.
This one's set aside by St. Gelais. Another save. He's got 8 unofficially now for Londonderry. But again, the ground ball belongs to the Cardinals. Second unit of attack. Getting some playing time here. Ryan Townsend Jr., he's a freshman. He's out there.
Another save.
Yep. Good takeaway near there. Far. Straight angle pass, trying to hook up with Ayotte. Sails over his head right back to the Cardinals.
Oh.
There's Finn Murphy. And then Donahue going to circle it back, and the Cardinals trying to settle in here. It's Cayenne Martin with a touch on that far wing. Quick pass to the cutter,
Ooh.
and look out, a push from behind is going to draw a flag. That one nearly a goal. An inch or so the difference as it stays high. Meanwhile, the third Lancer penalty is on the way. Cardinals do keep it, but intercepted there by Kyle Woodward.
Who are we going to go here?
And again,
might have been Cam, but it looks like it might be It might. Oh, they are going to call him. It is Cam. Legal body check.
Second penalty against Ayotte. And again, the third against Londonderry, with all three coming after halftime.
That is actually Cam's third.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, he had the first one, too.
He got the cross check, he got the hold, and now the illegal body check.
Well, they've asked a lot of the senior.
They do. They do. He's their Swiss Army knife.
Been a big part of the program the last several years.
Yeah, you've seen him take face-offs. He's been out there on man up.
And he is, again, one of Londonderry's more talented football players as well, so that shouldn't surprise people. This pass a little off target. Cody's going to take advantage for the Lancers. The long pole defender gets to the ground ball. St. Gillet's outlet pass, though, goes behind Dylan Tufts.
Yeah.
As the senior fails to locate it.
And we talked about that, about St. Gillet in the Pinkerton game. He's got to move his feet. No matter who you are as a goalie, you got to move your feet, even if you're not feeling pressure. There
Shot, score.
Nice job.
Low to high, Brady Donahue, the junior, got a good look there from the wing. And again, some of these placement shots, Roger, from deep have been impressive for BG collectively.
Well, I would love to go to a BG practice and just see them talk about shooting and not just firing it as hard as you can, but to find placement. And I'm sure they're getting good scouts on the goaltenders that they face. But clearly, I mean, here's your backups coming in, and not only are they putting the ball in the right spot, but they're getting assists as well. They're getting it to the right guys.
Midway through the fourth quarter, Cardinals have led wire to wire. San is still out there taking the face-offs, but
gets a hold here.
Yep. So let's give it over to Walden, who's been their leading scorer today with 2 goals. Trying to shake off the long pole defender. Fires a shot. That went too deep. May have been set aside by LeClaire. Still alive along that back boundary. 4 players in the mix, and things getting physical.
Should be.
Brody Campbell is in there for Londonderry. We get a whistle.
Yeah, they're going to give it to Londonderry.
What happened there? Somebody step out?
It must. No. I believe he was just holding him.
Okay. Campbell gets a step. Campbell.
Good slide.
Meets the slide, goes down, releases on his way to the ground, draws a whistle, and stepped inside the circle.
Yeah, he stepped, but I believe LeClaire actually made a save on that at his feet before he fell in. So we're going to give him 1.
Good clear here. It's Cardinal freshman Cam Auger. Pass tipped up in the air, taken away by the Londonderry long pole, Graham Cunningham. Representing this freshman class well. Cunningham completes the clear himself. Walden takes over.
Well, there you go. We haven't seen that the whole game from the defensive side of Londonderry's clear, and they're finally hustling up the field with that. Okay, they got the touch.
Inside of 5 minutes, fourth quarter. Backdoor feed. Ends up out in front. Campbell knocked down by LeClaire, and then he, with an inch or so to spare, keeps it away from that line. Makes the save for the third time since coming on here in this fourth quarter.
Boy, yeah, there's not a lot of net left to shoot at with Mr. LeClaire in there, and it went right into his body from that great play by Brody Campbell on the crease.
Cardinals complete the clear and get the unit onto the field at third. That's Ryan Townsend. Big hit. Survives. Fires. Gets knocked down again.
Yeah.
Things have turned physical here in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, and the Cardinal starters are really whooping it up for their teammates out there right now.
Yeah, they've been vocal throughout. Meanwhile, another pileup. Ayotte in there. Still battling. Townsend trying to secure, and then this one is poked away in the corner. It's Ayotte helmet to helmet that time with Sean Krause. Cardinals will keep it at this end as we tick down towards 3 minutes to go. Coming up after the game, full recap, stats, highlights, analysis, and a preview of tomorrow night's showdown between Bedford and Pinkerton. That's all coming up after the game.
Should be a good one.
5:30 start. Again, both teams in the hunt for the top overall seed in the upcoming Division I tournament. Little shake and bake behind the net. Finds a cutter. Donahue on the one-timer. Spanks it wide. Krause trying to keep it alive. He's knocked off the spot by Ayotte. Ball goes out of bounds back to Londonderry. Ayotte lets it fly, but it's too high. Just an inch or so. Handled here by Londonderry's Tyler Knapp.
Boy, I thought he was calling a timeout there. They're going to get it.
Campbell repelled. Now back up top for Callahan. Well, nonetheless, Roger, despite an early big deficit as this pass gets away from Campbell and is fished away by LeClaire, his outlet pass a little off. Despite the big margin very early in the game, Londonderry showing some character here.
Exactly.
Never quitting, fighting, and staying competitive despite a lopsided score.
And not losing their cool either in tough situations where they're getting doubled and tripled in battling for ground balls. Everything that goes along with this game late, and they are battling in there.
Final 100 seconds. Here's Broden Morse, the young freshman, getting some time here at the varsity level. Morse turned away by Cunningham. Now a touch for Kyan Martin. Coach Cameron says go ahead. And here he comes. Downhill move, shot on the run. Set aside by St. Gelais, kept in bounds. Another big hit. Martin, plenty of room on the wing as we move inside the final minute of this fourth quarter. So Bishop Guertin going to close out the regular season with 4 straight wins, finish the year at 13-4. And of course, Roger, they're not interested in the regular season stuff. Their goal every year is to win a championship, and this year they're in the hunt for 5 straight.
Yeah, I'm probably going to get a call or a text from Coach Cameron later on, but I think they really started not really watching the standings for quite some time, and it certainly started when they were doing a lot of the out-of-state games. It was more about challenging, getting better, rather than where you're going to end up in first, second, or third place.
Right. Final 10 seconds. Lancers hoping to end it on a high note. Campbell with a spin move, trying to get away from 3 defenders. Ball comes out, and that'll do it. A wire-to-wire win for the defending champs on the eve of the tournament as Bishop Guertin closes the door. 18-4 is the final. Londonderry still with double-digit wins this year under first-year head coach Jimmy Ward as they close out the year at 10-7. Coming up, full recap, stats, highlights, analysis. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another lacrosse program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
18-4, our final as Londonderry falls to Bishop Guertin in the regular season finale. BG improves to 13-4 and has secured at least a home game in the quarterfinal round. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you at Lancer Park. This one, well, one-sided from the get-go as BG scored 8 goals in the first quarter, holding Londonderry off the board in the process. Big nights tonight for junior Cam Hayden, scoring 6 goals for the Cardinals. Penn State's getting a heck of a player. And so is RPI. Michael Ponto scored 5 goals in the process. And don't forget about Owen King, another hat trick for the junior on his way to Lemoyne. Though, saw some good stuff, particularly from Brock St. Gelais, the sophomore goaltender, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, ended up with 9 saves. And some scoring punch as well. Colby Walden scored 2 goals for Londonderry. But this one impressive in a number of areas. BG dominating the face-off X. They're led, of course, once again by senior Paulo Vasquez. Good stuff from Samson San at times in that spot as well. The ride was very formidable early on, especially in that first half for the Cardinals. And, well, another solid performance from Jonah Feliciano, the starting goaltender for Bishop Guertin. Had a highlight stop on the fast break in the opening minutes of the game that set the tone in a lot of ways. So, Roger, your big takeaways here on what we saw tonight. An 18-4 Bishop Guertin victory, their 4th straight win to close out the year.
Yeah, this is just so stereotypical Bishop Guertin Cardinal lacrosse at this time of year. Gearing up for the playoffs, tuning things up, resting some of their players that are going to be integral to getting through the next 3 games if they make it to that championship round. Just an overwhelming performance against the Lancers that just simply looked outmatched in every stat category tonight. The face-offs 21-4. That was done by committee over the Cardinals. Expectedly, you don't want to wear out Paulo on a field of this type. On grass, where you're probably going to see mostly turf if you're in that top bracket, because you're going to have a home game. It's either going to be at Stellos, or if you end up with one of the other 3 teams at the top in the semis, you're going to be on turf. All 4 of those teams have turf. So, keep things cool there. Not a lot of turnovers, unforced turnovers by either team, but the big difference, you said just a moment ago, the BG ride is just absolutely relentless, and if you can't clear the ball in this game, you can't retain possession, and you cannot play transition against the Cardinals.
Tomorrow night, we're right back at it in Bedford. That's a 6 o'clock start.
6 o'clock, yeah.
At Bulldog Stadium. Pinkerton and Bedford. That one likely to settle things in terms of the number 1 seed.
Absolutely, yeah. If one of those teams loses, they're going to be bumped down to 3rd, and BG has already won that 2nd slot. So I mean, just the math doesn't lie in this case.
Yeah. So a lot on the line tomorrow night.
Indeed.
Between Pinkerton and Bedford. Want to thank Coach Lozon, the AD here at Londonderry, for giving us the green light. We appreciate it, and of course his lieutenant here at the ground, my man Tony, guiding us through the process the entire
Tony is
way.
the man here.
Absolutely. So we appreciate coming to Londonderry for those reasons. And, of course, none of this happens without the commitment of our videographers. Kristen Beals back in the saddle. Glad to have her up here with us on the overhead camera, coming off the bench. And then, of course, Matt Beals on the far sideline down in the trench where he has held it down all season. Of course, the whole thing orchestrated flawlessly by the man behind the curtain. That's the wizard of replay, our director, Ben Beals, back in the Beals Insurance Studios. For executive producer Steve Beals and my partner, Roger Howe, my name is Nick Anastas saying so long. Final score, Final time, Bishop Guertin 18, Londonderry 4. This has been a presentation of our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.